Yay Media Group.
13 has been my lucky number for a while. Like, it's always a sign of good things to come for me.
This is 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast, breaking down every song, every Easter egg, every era, and every theory. Hosted by the biggest Swifties, Nick Adams, Anna Szabo, Amy Nichols, and Lacey G.
Welcome to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. I'm Lacey G.
I'm Anna.
And I'm Amy.
And today we are breaking down Fresh Out the Slammer.
Fresh Out the Slammer. Ow!
And I'm going to put on my Nick Adams information hat. Nick Adams was unable to join us today. Fresh Out the Slammer is the 7th track from Taylor Swift's 11th studio album, The Tortured Poets Department, released on April 19th, 2024.
Wow, is this Nikki Adams?
And her live performance, she did make Fresh Out the Slammer made its live debut as a surprise song at the Eras Tour on May 24th in Lisbon, Portugal. So shout out to all the Swifties that were out there, got to witness that live. She's done it again since then.
Yeah, she did it in Munich. I don't know if it must have been after. She mashed it up with You Are in Love.
Oh, wow. Wait,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, which kind of shocked me when I went back to look.
Which one did she do first?
Fresh Out the Slammer.
And then she went into You Are in Love?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go look that up again. What interesting combo.
I know.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that wasn't the You Are in Love that you missed. You missed You Are in Love by 1 week.
Yeah, when she was in Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this was the second time that she did it because, and I'm going to say this on behalf of the losing team. Thank you, Amy. Also, I'm sorry, Amy. But we do our secret song predictions to try to figure out what is Taylor going to perform at the Eras Tour during her secret song set. Can we correctly guess like Taylor Swift? And once upon a time, beginning of Eras Tour, it was easier to guess because she's one and done unless I mess it up. And now she's just free game. Is she playing love ballads to Travis Kelce during her secret song choice? Is she picking out secret songs for me because she knew I was there in London?
I like to think so.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that for sure. I'm not good at Easter eggs. I don't always get them right. That one I can confirm was for me. I did something bad. Thank you, Taylor. Coney Island. Yeah, I heard you. But it is hard to try to guess because everything's on the table now. And we will be coming back with our secret song predictions whenever she starts back up the Eras Tour in Miami after a break. And by the way, don't forget to join us in Miami. We are super stoked to be putting on an Eras Tour pre-party.
Yes, Saturday, October 19th at the Loews Miami Beach Hotel. We are going to be having a pre-party from 1 to 3 p.m. We made it kind of early in the day so you have time to come to the event, get all hyped, and then still make it to the concert with plenty of time to get merch, parking, all of that. Anyone's welcome to come. Like, you don't have to be going to the show that night to come to the pre-party. Because we did get a message from somebody. They were like, what about Friday? Like, I'm going to the show on Friday. And I was like, well, then come to the party on Saturday.
Yeah.
Go to the show Friday.
After party.
And then after party. Yeah, we're calling it a pre-party. For you, it's an after party. Or if you were just in Miami for whatever reason, if you live in Miami, you're visiting, you don't have tickets to the show, you can still come to our party. I guess just by titling it Eras Tour pre-party, it does make it kind of seem like...
But all is welcome.
All is welcome. All are always welcome. We're going to have our live podcast. We're going to have a bunch of giveaways, games, photo ops, themed cocktails, friendship bracelets, all the good Swifty things. Also, we will be there.
Yes, we will be there.
I was telling Amy that we got a message from someone on Instagram at the 13TS podcast, and they were like, are you guys going to be there? Like at the tour, at the pre-party? And I was like, yeah. Like, I thought we kind of like had made that clear, but if that's a question, if I'm promoting it, if we're promoting it, like to make it seem like we're just like sponsoring the event, well, that would be cool. We will be there.
We will be there
We will be
enjoying
there.
ourselves. Now,
And we don't have tickets.
we don't have tickets to the Eras Tour yet, but we do have some tickets still available to our pre-party.
Slightly more affordable than the Eras Tour tickets.
A little bit.
A little bit. Only $13. You can get those at the13podcast.net. But much like Taylor at the VMAs, I might have to dip for a minute. I'll be back, though. I'll be back.
During our party?
Yeah, I might have to excuse myself for a minute.
To change your clothes?
Costume changes. Yeah.
Really? That'll be so
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I'm feeling inspired. What do I have in my closet and what can I come up with between now and then? Who knows? But it'll be fun. It'll be, we always have a good time celebrating with Swifties, having a good time. It's a different kind of community of friendship and camaraderie and just being with like-minded people who speak the same language. I cannot get over not feeling the Swiftie community while I was in London, just because London is such a big city and everybody wasn't just crawling around everywhere. Now I could spot my people and their shiny gear and friendship bracelets all over the place, but we just weren't connected and right around each other until I got to the Black Dog. And then the next day I went to the Eras tour. And then it was like, here's all my people. Here's all my people I've been looking for. I should have just come straight to the Black Dog immediately. But it's always like that. It's always a good time. We would love to get to see you. We would love to hang out. We would love to talk theories, talk favorite songs, talk what she's going to do, when Reputation's going to be announced. And Amy and I don't get to listen to it as our punishment. Thank you, Lacey. Yeah, but real good time. Would love to see you there. The13podcast.net. Let's go. Fresh out the slammer.
Man, was this a grower for me?
Yeah.
I think I guess I feel that way a lot about like the first half of the album. When the album came out and then we got the anthology, the second half. Like I think for the weeks that followed, I was so hyper focused on the anthology, the surprise. For some reason, I don't know why. I guess I was just more drawn to those songs for whatever it may be. Fresh out the slammer, I think for the first few weeks that we had Tortured Poets, it's not that I didn't like it. I think I just didn't pay attention to it. And then once I knew like all the words and stuff, like, oh my gosh, I love this song. But it definitely took a couple of weeks for me to appreciate it for what it is.
Is it just me, or is this a country song? I know Nick thought
Fresh out the
it's
slammer,
got that like guitar twang at the beginning, and
running back home to you.
Nick was so hyped on the last song being country, and I think this sounds
You know which
country.
one I think is the most country? Is I Can Fix Him, No Really I Can't.
I do too.
I think that was the most.
That's number one.
That's the most country of
I
the
agree.
songs. But Fresh Out the Slammer, I mean, yeah, because it kind of has like, I feel like
Bad Boy.
I feel like Fresh Out the Slammer and I Can Fix Him, No Really I Can't are kind of like sister songs. Like visually, I think it's kind of that like Western saloon.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, because like I think the phrase like Fresh Out the Slammer does kind of give like Western vibes. So I can see what you're saying. Fresh Out the Slammer. Where are my
Like
cowboy boots?
It'd be the opening for Yellowstone or something.
Right.
I have not seen that in forever.
I've
Really?
never seen it.
Really good show. It took me a while because I'm not really a country-esque person. It's just not relatable to me. I thought I came from the country whenever I moved here from Warner Robins, Georgia, until I moved to Texas, and I thought I'm coming out to the big city. Well, I bypassed the big city and moved out to Weatherford, which is country, and they had farm animals out there and all this stuff that I had never seen, never been around, ever. And I was like, oh, ends up I'm from a small town. I'm not from the country at all.
I think there's different kinds of country too.
Yeah.
Farm animals, country
is
to
one
me.
kind of country. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone
It's
picked
one
me up
kind
with
of country.
spurs one time. They had spurs on their boots, and I thought like that was a cowboy urban legend. I didn't know there was a need for them, but there is, because you have to dig your heels into. I said heels.
Wow, Lacey, I even picked up on that.
You have to dig your heels into an animal if you're riding them. Have y'all ever been to the rodeo?
Yes.
No.
I think so. Like, but years and years and years ago.
I went to one. I live in Fort Worth, and the rodeo is huge in Fort Worth, and people get so excited about it, and it is the thing to do in Fort Worth. Everybody's out there. I went one time, and it made me so horribly uncomfortable because they're roping animals and like jerking their necks, and it just looked so rough. And like I was like, is it gonna die? It looks like, and I guess animals are used to that. Like I don't know if that's what they're trained for or something, but I don't know. I did not understand it at all. It was rough. It was like seeing a person getting beat up. I'm just like, oh, I don't know if I can watch this. But if you're used to it, then I don't know. Country people, DM us.
DM Lacey.
DM me. I apologize. Just a small city girl. I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't pay attention to me. So Taylor Swift starts off with, now, pretty baby, I'm running back home to you.
I do think that something really cool about this song is the storytelling of it really like changes, later on. Like I feel like I guess we'll get into it when the song changes.
Well, I think the most important thing for this line is talking about running back home, and home means history. And I mean, I don't know. Do we think this is, he is assuming Joe, and are we assuming it's Maddie, or is it Taylor herself?
I've seen both. Now, pretty baby. She has referred to Joe as being gorgeous before and jealous that all the girls want him and that kind of stuff. I don't have the phrase in my head right now or the lyrics in my head right now, but that could be a reference to Joe. But I have seen people saying that it is Taylor celebrating herself after a relationship. Yes.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that interpretation because I kind of always visualized it as, to complete the lyric. Now, pretty baby, I'm running back home to you, fresh out the slammer. I know who my first call will be too. Fresh out the slammer being the relationship she had just been in. And then as the story goes on, like I in my head, she ended this relationship and runs back to Maddie Healy, the Maddie Healy character of like the person that like we had this on and off situationship for decades, and now that I've done my time and I've like served time, now I'm gonna run back home to you. And the reason I feel that way is because she kind of makes the same references in the epilogue. Mm-hmm. She says, out of the slammer and into a tidal wave. And then she also says it was house and then cardiac arrest, meaning like house arrest, the 6-year relationship, and out of the slammer being the 6-year relationship.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's just kind of the same metaphor, which is why I visualize it that way. But I do really like the idea of like running back to her old self. Like that's a really, really cool interpretation as well.
I think that because later on, maybe I'll wait until we get there, but later on in the song, I'm going to say it anyways. She's talking about how her friends were saying that she's lost herself. So she's coming back to herself after she stopped the relationship with Joe. So I like both. And it could be both.
It could, yeah. We know she loves multiple meanings. And I do think that she writes a lot of songs to be interpreted in different ways, like intentionally. Like sometimes we don't know for a fact. She hasn't said anything about, like, we didn't get a voice memo or anything about this song, so we don't know. But it is fun to think about the different contexts of it. I guess when I listen to it, I think of fresh out the slammer, fresh out of the 6-year relationship, running back to the situationship.
Yeah,
because sometimes it is hard to be alone. So I know whenever I was freshly single, I didn't know how to be alone. And I did go back to an ex very temporarily and immediately realized this is not the situation for me. And then realized I need time to be alone. And that's not always the case with people. No disrespect. I've got another friend right now, just met a great guy on the heels of his divorce. He is divorced, but hasn't been single for long, met her, and now he's like, well, but I didn't get to be single, but I also don't know that I want to be single, and you're great. So it's not, but then it's the whole what ifs. Do you need time by yourself? Do you need to be able to be alone? It's another day waking up alone, because sometimes that's a choice, sometimes it's not a from it can be interpreted in all the ways. fresh out the slammer, I know who my first call will be to.
Which is also like just a cool imagery of somebody that is locked up and they get out and they're free for the first time in a long time, and it's like you know exactly who you're gonna call, like who that first call is going to be. Just like the actual just like imagery of it is really, really cool.
Another summer, taking cover, rolling thunder.
He don't understand me. I love just the cadence of it.
Yeah.
I love the way that like the words just like sound like rhyming cover thunder and then like under, but then ending the sentence with stand me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, I like how once again it's like the cadence on the words isn't the end of the sentence. And I think that's a really cool thing that we've seen specifically in the Tortured Poets Department album.
And saying he don't understand me, that's intentional because it properly it would be doesn't, but he don't understand me. She felt horribly misunderstood and you're losing me. She also, cruel summer was where she was seeking solace after Reputation, where she went into hiding and Joe gave her all the sunshine feelings again, but then she's wasting a summer with his there rolling thunder and cloudy days and blue skies and all that kind of stuff.
Which is like heartbreaking because at one point she was like, I want all my summers with you.
I know.
You
That's
know?
rough.
Like to go from that to
It's a big transition.
another summer taking cover.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yoey.
Splintered back in winter, silent dinners,
Dinners,
bitter.
bitter.
He was with her in dreams.
Gosh, the cadence is amazing.
Tolerate it with silent dinners.
For sure.
Yeah.
He was with her in dreams. I misheard lyric. I don't know why it doesn't make sense, but I thought he was with her and me, but he was with her in dreams, alluding to either this affair that might have happened or maybe even just longing to be with someone else.
Or even just the person that she used to be.
Right.
You know, like
That's deep.
The dreams that they once had that didn't come to pass. They had hoped that it would be this great future together, and that was the dream, but
and not their reality.
No.
Yeah.
that's
and
how
then,
I took it.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that's really great. Splintered back in winter, I think, is also really important because not only does it, you know, winter being the opposite season of summer, which she just talked about, of course, but she wrote the song You're Losing Me on December 5th, which thank you, Jack Antonoff, for giving us that date. December 5th, 2021. So Splintered back in winter, silent dinners, bitter. Like, we know that it was winter when she was feeling that way and writing You're Losing Me, you know? And then to our knowledge, she was feeling that way, but then stayed in the relationship, right? So you can even flip the lyrics because splintered back in winter, like I'm feeling the sentiments that I'm feeling in You're Losing Me, but then another summer taking cover, you know, like,
Right.
it's just like the cycle.
Years are piling on and still giving this love a chance because I can change it. No, really, I can.
Mm-hmm. And silent dinners relating back to Tolerate is a really good, really good point.
Mm-hmm. Which is just such a heart-wrenching song and relatable to anybody who's ever been through that. If you have to beg for attention, I'm the best thing at this party. No, really, pay attention to me. Come on.
Yeah, my love should be celebrated.
Yeah. Gray and blue and fights and tunnels, handcuffed to the spell I was under.
Mm-hmm.
For just 1 hour of sunshine. I'm going to tough this out because there is happiness somewhere in there.
And we've heard her use gray and blue a lot throughout her writing to describe those like sad emotions.
And sick.
Yeah.
More recently.
More recently.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And just the imagery of when you are in the slammer, the real slammer, you only get an hour of outside time. So that moment of sunshine is
Limited.
It's very.
And it's also just really sad because at one point she thought she was living in daylight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you go from daylight, golden, this is the most beautiful thing I'm experiencing all the time, to just 1 hour of sunshine. And handcuffed to the spell I was under, handcuffed being, you know, along the same imagery of the slammer. Handcuffed to the spell I was under. I don't even know if that necessarily has to be that he was forcing her to stay.
No.
Because I think maybe just it sounds that way because handcuff sounds very like, you know. But I think it could also be the spell of kind of what we talked about in So Long London of I'm going to try so hard to make this work, like this like spell of like, I don't want to say delusion, but
The dreams of her.
the dreams, the
Yeah.
dreams that we once had. Like I don't want to give up on this. And then once you are out of it, it does kind of would seem like, okay, I was under a spell.
Mm-hmm. Y'all are blowing my mind. I'm not gonna lie. From the dreaming of her, and now 1 hour of sunshine, relating that back to the literal prison, getting to go outside for only an hour. I feel like I have not done my research. I'm learning so much.
Hey, that's why we're here.
Yeah, and all of y'all. Years of labor, locks and ceilings, in the shade of how he was feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So she is being poignant there. But it's going to be all right. I did my time. And
Yeah.
years of labor is just talking about toughing it out for so long, all the work that you put into a relationship. I don't really understand locks and ceilings.
I think it's with the same imagery.
Yeah, I mean, COVID, they were on lockdown. For Reputation, they were locked down, trying to hide from everybody. So that's the lockdown I'm seeing. And then for ceilings, she mentioned it in Lavender Haze, Staring at the Ceiling with You, and then Paris drew a map on your bedroom ceiling. So it was a lot of being in bed, looking at the ceiling. He was in that place. He was depressed. She was joining him. I'll go with you to that place. And those are the only references that I saw.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really, really great point. And I think it also, I think when you, from like a writing standpoint, when you are using a metaphor like this, I think she probably tries to just like actually visualize herself like in a slammer, like, you know, that's why she has the handcuffs, hour of sunshine, locks, ceilings, like, and then taking those images and relating them back to the relationship that you're like trying to describe. Right. So I think that just kind of makes sense.
Now,
I was just going to say the line, but it's going to be all right. I did my time. Every time I sing along to that, I almost feel like, you know, when you lie to yourself to like make yourself feel better.
like a pep talk, like, yeah.
But you know you're lying. I kind of feel that way, like, but it's going to be all right. I did my time. Like, it was really, really hard for her to leave this relationship. We know that. We've heard her say that in other songs. And so she's like telling herself like, but it's going to be all right. Like, I did my time. I did what I could. Like, I almost think she's lying to herself to make herself feel better.
But also it's a sense of hope, right? Like something good has got to come out of this.
Yeah.
A little bit of hope, I think.
Just
in
1
there.
hour of sunshine. But again, like, I did my time. Like, time for me to be free.
Mm-hmm.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. What's something that you'd love to learn? As an adult, do you make time to learn new things as often as you'd like, or was that lost in childhood? I know that me personally, one thing that I had to do was learn how to express my emotions. That's something that I wasn't taught as a child, and that's something that I learned through talking to my therapist at BetterHelp.
Look, therapy isn't just for people who have experienced major trauma in their life. Therapy is helpful for learning positive coping skills or learning how to set boundaries. It can also empower you to be the best version of yourself. And that's what we're all trying to do, right?
Absolutely. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. You fill out a brief questionnaire and you get matched with a licensed therapist. And my favorite thing about BetterHelp is that you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Look, if you're going to try to talk to a therapist about something that's going on with you, you want to make sure that you're matched with someone that meets your needs. And sometimes that isn't the case, but you can switch at any time for no additional charge.
And maybe you relate to Taylor Swift songs because it's something that you're going through. You're going through your own breakup. You need to talk it out with someone else. And that's why we would encourage you to speak it out. Talk to a therapist at BetterHelp.
Rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Taylor Swift fan today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Taylor Swift fan.
Also, maybe putting forth all the effort in a relationship, and you can't say that I didn't try everything, even though he said ship was sinking, you gave up on us. Possibly she's saying I did everything. I can't look back and say that I didn't try.
I also wonder if, because I think immediately you hear fresh out the slammer and you think, oh, she was locked up in this relationship and she finally got out. But I wonder if there's also kind of the angle of she's, I don't want to say punishing herself, but almost like she sees herself as the bad guy for ending the relationship. So she should be locked up in a slammer.
Wow.
Like I broke this person's heart.
Yeah.
And that, like, sure, like maybe that's what was meant to happen, but I should be locked up for that. Like,
dang.
You like, what's the line in Smallest Man? Like, you deserve time. Like, you should get prison, but you're not going to get time. Like, somebody breaks my heart and they should be in prison. I broke someone else's heart. Maybe I should also be in prison.
Yeah.
Wow.
Way to flip the script.
She's an excellent writer.
Now, pretty baby, I'm running back home to you. Fresh out the slammer, I know who my first call will be to.
Fresh out the slammer, oh. I feel like we perfectly timed that.
We did.
Perhaps we will be singing backup vocals at our Miami Aerosaur pre-party. Maybe, maybe not.
We'll see.
The
Ooh, a little-
13podcast.net for tickets if you want to see that magic that may or may not happen.
What if we just scratch the live podcast aspect and just do karaoke? If enough people want it.
Camera flashes, welcome bashes.
Get the matches. So this is where, even though musically the tone changes later, I think in the story this is where it changes because now she's
Yes.
out.
Right. First verse, still with Joe.
Yes.
Supposedly.
Second verse, she's now running back to the other person, right? So camera flashes, paparazzi, she's like getting out, welcome bashes, welcome home, you made it out.
Yeah, the friends were celebrating.
Well, and now she's getting invited out again because
Yeah.
she's not miserable anymore and holed up looking at a ceiling. Now friends are like, welcome back. You got
Welcome
out of
back.
this. Yeah.
Get the matches, like to light candles, like to blow out candles, like celebratory, toss the ashes off the ledge. To me, I feel like that's like, if this relationship that you grieved, like take those ashes and just like, move on.
Yeah, I agree. And there's even the ceremony when you break up, the burning of the things.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, it could be that.
Yeah, you're so right. And then when she goes on and says, as I said in my letters, now that I know better, I will never lose my baby again. To me, in my head, I feel like she's referring to like the letters to the other person, to the Maddie Healy. Like, as I said in my letters, like hypothetically, she was writing to him while she was getting out of the other relationship. So it's like, as I said in my letters, now that I know better, because we have, connected that maybe there were some songs on Folklore that were, meant for him.
Yeah.
And, like maybe those were kind of like the quote unquote letters. Like, as I said, like, I know better, like, and I'm not gonna screw this up again, because she's at that time, even with the situationship, like she was hopeful about it, and until it became the cardiac arrest of it, until it became the tidal wave that she had mentioned previously.
This person was going to be our end all, and she wasn't going to risk anything to lose that person again. My friends tried, but I wouldn't hear it. Watch me daily disappearing for just one glimpse of his smile. But then that's giving me Joe vibes, because he's not smiling.
I think that is Joe.
It's still Joe?
I mean,
okay.
I think she's saying that, referencing back to that relationship. She lost herself. Her friends tried to tell her that she was losing herself. She was not herself because she was sticking around for that little glimpse of his smile.
Which would circle back to the lyric in So Long London, that my friend said it wasn't right to be scared. Like her friends tried and she wouldn't hear it.
I know I got a little confused, but it helped me if I'm just looking at the pronouns that he is Joe and you is Maddie or herself, depending on which way you want to look at it.
Okay, gotcha. But then, because I feel like it could also be, you know, if we're thinking storyline, she gets out of the slammer, you know, as I said in my letters, like she's running to him. But then it ended up not being a good thing because then we have how she was feeling in Down Bad, right? Where she was like, or, you know, like my friends, I can't even tell them about the existence of you, you know? So it could be that like, okay, I go back to this like situationship, but then that also went up in flames. And so my friends tried, but I wouldn't hear it. Watch me daily disappearing, you know, for just one glimpse of his smile. Because have you ever been in that situation where like your friend is dating a guy that you don't like? So she'll kind of like lie to you and like go hang out with him and, you know, so like it could kind of be both.
Yeah.
All those nights you kept me going, swirled you into all of my poems.
Now we're at the starting line. I did my time. Because I feel like that would be the next relationship, right? And swirling you into all of my poems, I feel like she did do that.
Well, if by what Amy said, you would be theoretically Maddie Healy, then yeah, that she was fantasizing about this better life once this relationship ended. They allegedly were writing songs back and forth to each other, and now she's like, okay, I'm here. Let's go. Let's make all this magic happen that we've dreamed and fantasized and promised each other about. Now, pretty baby, I'm running.
Sorry, just to go back one line.
Yeah.
Now we're at the starting line. I did my time. Could also just be a direct reference to the Black Dog, the starting line, which is also referenced in the Black Dog as like the song. There's just a connection there. But I think in the Black Dog, it's like the song, and here it's like a literal starting line,
right?
You know, but this is Taylor Swift we're talking
about. The double meaning.
Okay, sorry, go on.
Now, pretty baby, I'm running to the house where you still waited.
This cadence I love. When she slows it down. Yes. It kind of reminds me of when she does it in 10-minute version all too well.
Yeah.
I just get that feeling every time I hear it.
Yeah, that's a great. Oh, yeah. Now, pretty baby, I'm running to the house where you was up in that porch light. I kind of lost my sentence there.
To the one who says I'm the girl of his American dream. And no matter what I've done, it wouldn't matter anyway. Ain't no way I'm gonna screw up now that I know what's at stake here. So, and then she goes into at the park where we used to sit on children's swings wearing imaginary rings.
Ouch.
I saw someone theorize that Joe and Taylor broke up. She went to Maddie. They stopped seeing each other and she went back to Joe. And now Joe doesn't want her back anymore, and that's why she went back to the house but was only at the children's park and not inside the house. He wouldn't let her in anymore, and the lover's house was for Joe. That's just one thing that somebody pointed out. What is she saying with the wearing imaginary rings? I'm guessing just the promises and the hopes that we're going to get married and this doesn't happen. Even if it's not get married, you're promising yourself to me, and it didn't happen.
Right. I think just like, yeah, I think I agree with what you said, that they were just imaginary. Like it never actually happened.
You'd never leave, never mind.
Yeah. But it's interesting because I just kind of feel like there's so many different ways that this bridge could be interpreted. I do find it interesting that in the right before that, now pretty baby, I'm running. Because it like before the two times before that, it was now pretty baby, I'm running back home to you. And now it's just I'm running. Which I saw some people kind of connect back to like Florida. You know, she's running away. Like, you know, she's escaping the shitstorm back in Texas and running to Florida. So it's like she's running. And then to the house where we still wait up in that porch light gleams. I always visualize this as the folklore house on tour is like, one thing. But if this is, if Taylor and Maddie were writing music to each other over these few years, the 1975 on their set, there's also a house and there's a porch light in their set. And there is a part of their set where Maddie Healy sits on the roof, very kind of like Peter Pan-esque as well, which we'll get to that in a few weeks. But when I hear that line, to the house where you still wait up and that porch light gleams, I always visualize that part of the 1975 set of Maddie Healy on the top of the house, the roof of the house with the porch light on.
Interesting.
Is that a direct reference? I don't know, because it could also just be the imagery of the Western country-esque of the porch light waiting up for the person to come home. So I don't know, but.
Unrelated, but in You're Losing Me, she says, remember looking at this room, we loved it because of the light.
Yeah.
Ain't no way I'm going to screw it up now that I know what's at stake. Ain't no way. That's very country.
Yeah.
Ain't no way I'm going to screw it up now that I know what's at stake.
I just like how it like rolls, how she like rolls it. And no matter what I done, I wouldn't done it anyway. Even when, like it just kind of like, oh my goodness. It's like she finds the cadence and the perfect words to just use. Gosh, she's
genius.
A lyrical genius.
And we may or may not find our cadence at the Loews Miami Beach Hotel on October 19th. We'll see. No promises. Definitely not writing our own lyrics.
But I think, I don't know. I think this is why she's so good at this. Of course, obviously. But I feel like every line in this bridge, you could argue whichever narrative you want to argue.
Yeah.
To the one who says, I'm the girl of his American dreams. Both of these characters in her life are British. So either one of them would have said that, like if it's either way. And it's like, ain't no matter, when she says, ain't no way I'm going to screw up now that I know what's at stake here. Like, okay, she messed up with this long-term relationship, so I'm not going to screw it up again with this one, or we've had this situationship going on for so long, I'm not going to screw it up because I know what's at stake. But then you have the imaginary rings part, which makes you think of, this situation, like this paper rings kind of thing. But then I also think of the other line in Tortured Poets where she says, you put a ring on the finger where people wear wedding rings.
Yeah.
It's like, I think the conversation and topic and idea of marriage or wedding, or maybe she's just using it as an image, whatever it may be, but it kind of applies to both.
Love bombing. I mean, for sure.
Yeah.
Making promises that were cheap, falling for counterfeit love.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. And I mean, she clearly says to the one who says, I'm the girl of his American dreams. That's my second the one joke.
No, but I liked it. And I got it that time.
Like the song.
To the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The song.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I also think like maybe she did this intentionally where we're not supposed to know who exactly she's talking about at which point, because the lines were blurred for her and they're blurred for us too.
Absolutely.
So now they're kind of blurred for us too as like the listener. And when you just take the album as a whole and the story that's kind of being intertwined throughout it is confusing.
And the way she made the track list, like Down Bad, she's already made a resolution for that's the resolution of the relationship. And it's just, you're jumping all over the place, back and forth in the chronological order of things.
Yeah. Could you imagine if we should do that sometime as a challenge? What would be the chronological order?
I don't know if I could try.
That would be hard. But that'd be kind of interesting to see how we all interpret the timeline of the story.
And no matter what, these people were muses to these songs.
Yeah.
They didn't write the songs. They inspired her to write these songs in any kind of way. And I don't know if you know this about Taylor Swift. She is a fantastic lyricist.
Yeah.
And she can write lyrics that are relatable to many people on many different levels in many different ways. I've had discussions before with single girlfriends like, what Taylor Swift song did you realize that your relationship was over?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's very true. A friend that I met in London, I can't remember what hers was. It might have been, I can't remember, but it was a song on Midnights, and it was like, really? But just Midnight Rain is what it was. And just realizing like this isn't what I wanted. This isn't the life that I want. This isn't what I thought it was going to be. I mean, not a bad person, but also not going to stick out the rest of my life with you. And just realizing it. And Taylor Swift can provoke that in people, emotions and feelings. And
I had a really interesting conversation with my husband Ryan recently. We were talking about just pop culture, celebrities, obviously my love for Taylor Swift. We were talking about Chapel Roan, because she's this incredible up-and-coming artist, and she's handling fame differently than we've seen other artists handle it in the past. And she's standing up for herself right away, right? Like, she's setting her foot down. She's like setting boundaries and, you know, all of this kind of stuff. And we just found it to be so interesting. And I was like, yeah, like, you know, when you think of like Taylor, like she has such a magnitude of fame, and it's gotta be so hard to like handle when there's, you know, people that feel like they know her so personally. We were just talking about just artists and music and things like that. And Ryan kind of like said to me, he was like, you have a relationship with Taylor's music in a way that a lot of people feel that they have a relationship with Taylor as the person or Taylor as a brand. But he kind of pointed that out to me. He was like, the way that you guys spend all of your time analyzing her lyrics and her like art, he was like, you guys have a relationship with her music. And I it's like I've always felt that way, but to hear him kind of say it I felt very like, yeah, that is so true. Because when Taylor first announced that she was going to do her Taylor's Version project years ago, which is crazy that it was like years ago, and I remember somebody asked me, they were like, are you really going to re-buy all of her music when you kind of already have it?
And Anna said, I'm going to buy 12 of each album.
I said
13,
let me one up you that. But I thought about it and I was like, no, you know what? Like, I was like, I feel like the reason that I almost am so loyal to Taylor Swift is because her music has always been there for me, you know? And I remember saying that. I was like, her music has always been there for me, so I will always be there for her as well, you know? But I don't know. It was a cool conversation. And now to analyze the song in the way that we just did, like, I really enjoyed this entire conversation, like hearing y'all's perspective and, you know, things. But to look at her lyrics and to just acknowledge how great of a lyricist she is and poet, you know, I just think that's really cool. And I don't know what made me bring this up, but
no, that's a very good point. But I would like to tell Ryan that even though, yes, we are very big fans of her work, and that is how we know her, and she does say at times, like, this is my brand. This isn't necessarily Taylor Swift. However, she would be friends with us too. And I think after getting to know her for a minute, she would friendly hug me back. I would not make the first move. Like, it would be fine. But I want to be her friend, and I hug my friends. And I think she would like us. I would like us if I didn't know us. If I was Taylor Swift, right? Am I just convincing myself? Like, Taylor, hi, Taylor.
Hey, if you don't know us, do you like us? And if you do know us, I would hope that if you're this deep into our podcast, then you hopefully like us. Unless you're like hate listening, then that'd be kind of interesting as well. But don't tell me about that.
No,
I don't want to
we
hear
don't
that.
hear it.
No, we promote love, not hate. All right, well, great episode. Thank you, Amy.
This was
Thank
a fun
you,
one.
Anna. That was really fun. I feel like I was just here participating. I learned so much, and I love this song. I've just never looked at it in the same perspectives as y'all, and that was a really
It was good.
really
Yeah,
good one.
that's the point.
Yeah. To be able to break down.
Yeah, so we hope to see you guys in Miami, October 19th at the Loews Miami Beach Hotel. You can find all the info at our website, the13podcast.net. Hit us up on Instagram, our new Instagram at the 13TS podcast. We would love to hear your interpretations of this song as well, because if the three of us had different interpretations, there's got to be more. We would love to hear them. reach out to us in any sort of way that you want. You can also send us an email. All the ways to contact us are in the description of this podcast.
And join us next time, because not only are we going to Florida, October 19th, Loews Miami Beach Hotel, but we are going to be breaking down Florida next.
Guess how many times we promote the event in that episode?
Thanks for listening. The 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. Subscribe for free and leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.